All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah. Coming this afternoon with a message. Let me see. Is it afternoon? Let me see here. I guess no, it's not. It's not even. It's still morning. It's getting close to afternoon. But I'm coming this afternoon with a message, and I'm going to title this message "The Lamb." The Lamb. I'm going to put something out there, and my desire is to receive comments regarding the Lamb. This is something that I have had within me for quite a while, years, but never thought to go into it and tackle it like I feel it today. And I think it's needed. I think we need to address this situation regarding the Lamb. What I feel in me is that light that the Most High speaks of coming out of darkness in the end days. I believe that this, in which I am about to speak to you regarding, could be an eye opener, a mystery, an egg cracked, but more so a light. But I'm going to ask you, and me myself shall do also a little bit deeper, hearing the Ruach that's greater in me, who already know that I felt that way for a mighty long time, but never did any sit down search, even that which is in me, to really expound on it. But I think this is the time. This is the time in which I'm going to need each and every last one of you all to chime in and bring forth a comment on this topic. But when you bring it with the light. Don't bring it with darkness, baby, because you can't do nothing. Sister Deborah can't do nothing with your darkness. But if you can bring it in light and in spirit and in truth, meaning not your opinion, not your emotions, not your interpretation, but through the spirit revealing and bringing forth. Now, this is a very good thing, because I was sitting here studying and just saying to the Father, what must I speak that one would need in this day that we're in? The Father told me what he told me before, but I never ever went in and did any in-depth desiring to know. I just left it where it was at. I remember, I think it's been probably 2 years I covered it, and I land on it, but I just didn't go any further than that. And this topic is the Lamb. What I believe, based on what I'm feeling. Mhm. And that is, the Lamb is separate from the angel. I believe that the Lamb and the angel are two different things. I believe that the Lamb never was, never is, and never could be likened to an angel. I believe that there was an angel that was missioned and willed to come to the earth and that he would be brought lower than the other angels for the purpose of being the sacrifice, of being the sacrifice. What are you saying, Deborah? I believe that the Son of Man was an angel that was made a little lower than the other angels for the purpose of a blood sacrifice for the sin of the flesh and the flesh only. Why would you say that, Deborah? Because the Son of Man was born of a woman. Therefore, he came into the world as the world is a world of sin. He came into the world, born into the world of sin, and master and conquer sin itself. As what? Flesh. He showed us that it can be done. I believe Yeshua showed us and showed out that he came into the world like unto us through a woman born of the flesh, called the Son of a Man, meaning flesh, to represent only the flesh, to represent dying as a sacrifice for the sin of the flesh. He took on the sin and died in victory, conquering sin itself. He did it. I think we not only have thought it wrong, feel it wrong, speak it wrong, teach it wrong, see it wrong, live it wrong, and die it wrong. I believe Yeshua was an angel, made a little lower than the other angels for the purpose of my Father's will, to allow one to come down like unto the flesh of a man and uphold sin as sinless in him. So therefore, his victory was not just him dying, getting victory by conquering sin in the flesh. He also was sinless, showing us that we too can come into the world and get victory in that which no man in the flesh can do. I think we had it wrong. We taught it wrong. We speak it wrong. We feel it wrong. We see it wrong. We hear it wrong. We preach that thing all the way wrong. Yeshua came to conquer the sin that Adam could not do. He came to win back what Adam had threw away. And what was that? Sinless. He took it back. He got victory where Adam never got victory. He came down, born of a woman, as a son of man. The reason why it's a son of man, because he wants you to look only at the flesh level. Because he come to conquer flesh, sin, by being sinless from the beginning to the end. That's what he conquered on the cross. Now him coming and him dying took back and made the earth as it was in the beginning, sinless. For that split moment he died, all sin was erased. All man's sin was taken away the day he gave up the ghost. Why? Because he conquered our sin in a human flesh to show us that we too can get victory over sin in our flesh. Watch how beautiful this is. Watch it now. Stay with me now. So not only do I think it, I kind of feel it, that I know it. Oh, girl, go on, step into it like you got it. All right. Yeshua, when I would do my study, I saw Yeshua, as the world called Jesus, as an angel coming to conquer sin in the flesh, that which Adam could not do. Yeshua, Hamashiach, not Hamashiach, but Yeshua came to do. This is the reason why. I'm going to get to that part. I believe that he was an angel, made a little lower, a little different than all the other angels, just for the purpose. And that purpose is what we missed, y'all. We missed it. His purpose was to conquer sin, to get victory over sin and death. And he did it. He did it. When he nailed sin to the cross, he took it and mastered it all the way to the cross. And here we stand today, full of sin and iniquity, as if we don't have someone to look to, someone that we could say, it can be done. He did it, then I can. Or someone to show us how we too can master sin itself in the flesh. Those years that he was with us on the earth was our learning guide and how. And what I learned as a prophetess in the wilderness from Yeshua was that he was excellent. He was a wonderful teacher. But what I really, really like about Yeshua, which the world called Jesus, He kept our eyes focused on the Father. He never gave himself any honor, any glory, any praise. He never exalted himself. He kept us in Yah throughout the whole time he ministered and spoke unto us. It was always about his Father word, his Father works, his Father power, his Father kingdom, his Father spirit. Yeshua, which the world called Jesus, came down here to the flesh to teach the flesh and to take back what Adam couldn't do. Adam gave it up freely. But he came to show us that it can be done. And I want to say to each and every last one of you all, I would like to hear your input, your comment on this. But first and foremost, do your study, not just from the outside of your flesh, but from your inside, and see. I would like to see if the Ruach will let his light shine in a way that this could surely bring light out of darkness. I need your help here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So now we have covered Yeshua, which the world called Jesus. He came to the flesh. He came identical to the flesh, like unto Adam. Adam came into the world without a woman. He came unto the world, not without a woman, without a man. That alone should show you the mystery of Adam coming to the earth without a man, without a man's sperm. Yeshua came into the world without a man's sperm. Abel came into the world without a man's sperm. Melchizedek came into the world without a man nor a woman. So what I want to show you is this. Yeshua pulled up without being a sperm of a man. Why? Like unto Adam, Yeshua would have to be the way of his father. He would have to carry the ways of his blood father. Heavens knew what he was doing. When he brought Yeshua, which the world called Jesus, he wasn't tainted by the sperm of a man, because Yah had orchestrated a man to come in to the world like unto his father, his forefathers. But he needed this angel, which is Yeshua, the word called Jesus. He needed him to not have a father's ways, a father's iniquity. So he put that sperm, not that sperm, but that child into a womb of a woman without a sperm of a man. Don't tell me he ain't the I am. He can do it any way he wants, and it all still gonna make sense. That's why he constantly telling us, Deborah, only he that has that ear can hear. You can't hear nothing I'm saying. You can't hear nothing Yah is saying without having that spiritual ear to hear. It's singular because it's spiritual. It's something in you that you have to be able to hear the voice of Yah. Even the voice that reside in you, Yah's spirit, teaches you. You can't hear in your spirit without the ear to hear the spirit teach unto thee. So here go the Son of Man. So he wanted us to know that the Son of Man is born of a woman, because he wants us to understand he came into the flesh as a flesh. He was an angel made lower than the other angels for the sacrifice of all mankind sin. But the sin of the flesh. Only the sin of the flesh. This is why you got the twos. I want to address you all regarding Yeshua being the angel that came down to master sin in the flesh and to die for it in the flesh, to show us that walks in the flesh that it can be done. Watch how it can be done. Even though Yeshua came in the flesh, the Most High created his beloved, his only begotten of himself, to enter into the Son of Man and walk and conduct himself in the flesh. But when the beloved, the only begotten came, he was likened to Melchizedek. He was likened to the Hebrew boys in the furnace fire, the Son of Yah. So with the Son of Man came the Son of Yah to help and support the Son of Man so that he can show us how to master sin in the flesh. And he did an excellent job. How? Including the Father in his whole ministry, in his works, in his spirit, and in his word. Did he train us to hear that all of it came from the Father? Everything he did, everything Yeshua did, he always directed us to our Father, which are in heaven. So what I think it's time to really get to the deepness of this conversation. And that is, Mm, 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 mm. There was a lamb. There was the sacrifice for all mankind that brought back our spirits to the bosom of the Father. There was a lamb that came to redeem us back to the Father. This lamb did not come for the blood sacrifice of the flesh. It came for the blood sacrifice of the Spirit to redeem us back to the Father. The lamb was slaughtered, meaning Yah purposed him for the time. And when he purposed him, he gave him all his self. And he gave him a name like no other. That by that name, understanding that name, can be redeemed back to the Father. Yeshua was the angel that walked in the flesh. Christ was the lamb that was sacrificed for the Spirit to redeem us back unto the Father. As I think about how it talks about what took place before the foundation of the world and how 99.15 times billion don't know that something took place before the foundation of the world, and the plan started with the creation. And before the creation, he had already prepared a lamb for the sacrifice, the true sacrifice. There was two sacrifices, y'all. There was a sacrifice for the flesh, the sin of the flesh, and there was a sacrifice to redeem our spirit back to the Most High Yah. The Son of Man came to show us in the flesh that he can conquer the sin that Adam couldn't uphold. He came to teach us, to show us Yah's word, Yah's spirit, and Yah's power. He came to show us that in the flesh through Christ. Excellent job. Christ came down like Melchizedek. He came down like the beloved, the only begotten. But before Yah created his only begotten out of him, before he created him to be the Redeemer, he first wanted to let us know there is a lamb that was slaughtered before the foundation of the world to redeem us back to the Father. The lamb was the lamb book of life. We come back to the Father through the lamb. We don't come back to the Father through Yeshua. We come back through the Father through the whole overall plan of conquering sin through Hamashiach, which is Christ. which first started off as the Lamb. I believe Christ, Hamashiach, is the Lamb. I believe Yeshua is the sacrifice of the flesh for all mankind. He wasn't coming to redeem all mankind. You know why? He was coming to only die because Adam failed at the very, very, very beginning. And he come to pick up where Adam couldn't stand, to show us that with Yah, which is Christ, which is Hamashiach, we can do all things through him that strengthen us. So when you ever think to really do your study, you will see the tools working in the one. You will see the tools working in the oneness of who? The Father. That's why I speak of the Lamb that slaughtered before the foundation of the world, because that was the plan of the Father before the foundation of the world. He had a plan to separate everything that he bring down, that he suffered to come down to this earth, that he hadn't even created. So he had to start it off by the Lamb that he had sacrificed. And he called it the Lamb Book of Life. Who is that Lamb Book of Life? As time, moments in the kingdom before the heavens and the earth was created. Who is that? He created in the heavens one that would come down to the earth, all the way to the mission. Christ came. He was the Lamb. He was Christ. He was the only begotten. He was the beloved of the Father. Came down to redeem us only by the Spirit. Yeshua could not. He couldn't do it. But he showed you with his Father being in him and him in his Father. His Father made everything possible from the beginning to the end. And this is why you saw him in Gethsemane kind of shaking, kind of nervous. Because now what he was created and made a little lower than the other angels for the mission to die in the flesh for mankind on the earth in the flesh, to conquer sin on the earth in which Adam could not do. He get to Gethsemane and began to tussle a little bit. Why? Because now the Lamb, the only begotten, the beloved, Hamashiach, which the world called Christ, nailed to the cross. So now the Son of Man that was made a little lower than the angels must get the victory, the final victory, as heaven has willed it, that he would die for all mankind, whether they are the serpent seed or whether they are the spiritual seed. Yeshua came to show us that it can be done when Hamashiach, which is Christ, the only begotten, the beloved of the Father, the Lamb slaughtered before the foundation of the world is in thee. Can take you all the way through to the end, y'all, as he did Yeshua. That's why Yeshua kept telling them, it is not my words. These are not my words. This is the Father that's in heaven. He was showing you two directions. And you all never saw it. And never will. Most of you. Because it's always been two directions. Y'all been dealing with twos for a long time. So what Sister Deborah is coming to the fullness is when I see the lamb slaughtered before the foundation, when I'm pulling up in Revelation and I'm seeing this lamb capitalized, I say, hold up. The Son of Man was never to be titled as the capital. He is titled as Yeshua with Hamashiach. But as you go into Revelation, you see this lamb is in the throne. It's coming out of the throne. It's speaking out of the throne. You know who that lamb is? That lamb is the only begotten. The one Yah created before heaven and earth was created. He sacrificed himself as a lamb to come down to fulfill the death, burial, and resurrection to make sure we get back, to make sure we are redeemed back to his bosom. Why? Why did he do that? Because see, y'all, which I did not understand, the lamb was slaughtered before the foundation of the world, and that's when everything was written. So you got these people in these books, as we can kind of understand. Yah has it written. And for us to be written in one book or the other, something had to have taken place before the foundation of the world, that where Yah sealed us as written. You go into Revelation, he said, those that are not written in the Lamb book of life. When we receive life, it's only when we enter into the world. You do not receive life through your mother's womb. You live off of her life. And when you enter in, the first thing, he that brings you forth and pulling you up, he don't care if you're a male or a female. He don't care what's going on. He's trying to get that breath to come forth. And that is the gift of Yah to us all when we're able to. That's him blowing in us and blowing into us, and into us, he's blowing something in us. Not just his breath, but a spirit to hold his breath in us. So that's why we're telling y'all all these things that they is talking about abortion and about all these things that they do be talking about. It ain't nothing but science and what they have fed people. But when you come up and you pull up and you go up in the spirit and he laying you down, all that stuff get cut out. Because now he wants you to understand spirit and truth. He just take you straight to the core. My breath come into them, Deborah. And when I'm blowing something in them. They run around here talking about a soul. I only blew in them a spirit, like unto my spirit. I am an image of a spirit. And I said, I'm going to give them the image of my likeness. And I blows into them an image. And the only thing holds my life, which is my breath, is the spirit that I blow into them. When he sent death, death don't give a rat's behind where your flesh is at or where your flesh is going. Death coming for that breath of life to where that spirit now falls asleep. Because death coming for that, he obeys you. Go get that breath. Death, go get it. You think Satan over death? No. Father is the most high Yah, the I am that I am, the Ahaya. He's over life. So when he has this book that is written, and it says it's called the Lamb Book of Life. The Lamb Book of Life. He got all the ones that he slaughtered that lamb for, that he gave life to, that he wrote in this book called Lamb Book of Life. Those that are redeemed are being redeemed back because their name are found. Their name is found in and is written in, first and foremost, what is called Lamb Book and Life. So that lamb is detached to life, and that life is detached to the lamb. Why? Because it is Yah himself, the lamb slaughtered before the foundation of the world, is the only begotten of the Father, the beloved Son of Yah, that come down to assist with the Son of Man, born of the flesh, an angel who come down to work the mission that Adam could not do, and that was conquer sin and death. He did it. He did it. He did it. But notice he couldn't come and raise his own self up. But he that came down with him went to the grave with him after he had given up the ghost. And it's Christ. It's Hamashiach. Where all that power, Yah, is at. Where all that word is at. Where the Spirit of Yah is at. That came down here as Emmanuel, Yah with us. Notice Yah had him in Melchizedek. Called him the Son of Yah. Christ, Hamashiach, is and was and shall be the Son of Yah. He was the one that was in the fire furnace with the 3 Hebrew boys. He was Melchizedek. He was the Lamb. He was the beloved, the only begotten of the Father. He was the Father's power. He was the Father's word. He was the Father's Spirit that came down to assist the Son of Man in the mission to conquer what Adam could not conquer. And why it's so beautiful? Let me land it to you. When he died on that cross, I don't think it was a cross. It might have been a tree. Whatever. He gave up the ghost. The ghost that he gave up was his own spirit. That was the Son of Man, born of a woman. That means he was flesh. He come to die for all sin in the flesh, to show sin, to show us that we can conquer sin in our flesh. And you didn't have a priest, an apostle, a prophet, a prophetess, a so-called pastor, a leader, an evangelist, a Maureen, a seer, a watchman that can never, ever, ever shine light on you to show you what I just spoke to you. They didn't then, and we in the what? The midnight hour, which is perilous times and the beginning of the tribulation, and they still ain't told you. But you riding their backs on their YouTube pages. So I, Sister Deborah, would like your input. What you think? Add a little something to the conversation in the comment. Just your own. No, we don't want your own opinion. Ask the Father, give you something. Let you see something. Let you hear something. So that's showing you they got to come from a different realm than your natural hearing and your natural eyes, your natural seeing. So you want y'all to show you what Sister Deborah is saying. Okay? And anything that might support you understanding it, ask the Father. Because here it is with me. I've been in this since I was 4 years old. And I'm grateful for him sticking with me all these years. And I don't want nothing but him. I don't care what nobody say. I don't want to do nothing but what pleases him. And that's it. So I, Sister Deborah, say again, Yeshua was an angel, brought a little lower for the sacrifice of the flesh. The sin, he conquered it as Adam did. Adam didn't have a birth father, but he was a man born. Okay? Yeshua didn't have a sperm from a man. So he's showing you how he conquered what Adam could not. Well, what was it Adam was supposed to conquer? He's supposed to have conquered, not sin. He's supposed to have conquered sin. Sin didn't have dominion over him. The moment he got here, he took sin. So Yeshua came to show us, yes, it can be done. But Yah sent him some help. So we too can have some help like he did. When you get into the Lamb, when I see that Lamb at that throne or coming out of that throne or a part of that throne and it's capitalized, I know that's the Father. That's that I am that says I can be this, I am this, I am this, I am that, I am this. I can be whatever I want to be. I am. Don't tell me what to be. Well, what is mine? I own it all. That's what the Most High wants us to understand. If we could take out that time and walk with Yeshua, the Son of Man, because he was flesh, teaching us flesh, how we can live in this world without sin. And how did he teach us? Through that spirit that was in him, that Lamb, that Son of Yah, that only begotten, that beloved that was in him, the Son of Yah, which was Christ. I, Sister Deborah said, I'd like to hear your input, not your output, but your input. That means what is in you, not on the outside of you. How about that? Shalom and shalom.